What's up, Internet?
How you guys doing? Happy holidays.
Welcome to the last review of 2018. He's got a dabbing snowman on his sweater.
I do. It's the worst.
I hate it.
It was a gift.
Get out of my house. We just watched a movie that the entire internet is blowing up about, and I've literally seen articles calling it the scariest movie ever made. Hyperbole is fun, guys.
Shit.
Hyperbole is great. Bird Box is directed by Suzanne Bier. It stars Sandra Bullock, Trevante Rhodes, Sarah Paulson, a bunch of other people, including John Malkovich. And it tells the story of a woman named Mallory, who is, in the present day, trying to usher two children to safety in a world inhabited by entities that make you kill yourself if you see them. So everyone's forced to, you know, navigate around blindfolded or close their eyes consistently. And it's a world without sight. Kind of sounds like A Quiet Place, right? But with a different sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bird Box is a movie that's been hyped to hell. There's memes everywhere. I wanted to know what they were about, so we watched it.
Yeah, and I've just seen guerrilla marketing left and right. I know you've said you've had friends who have been seeing it, like, and posting about it, but really I just saw ads.
Oh, I saw a bunch
everywhere.
of people. I had several friends message me and be like, hey, have you seen this yet? You're going to love it. With that being said, I didn't love it.
No.
I didn't love this movie. Honestly, guys, I don't understand the hype behind it. Because, like I said, the internet is blowing up. And I don't really get why.
I mean, I guess it's...
I'm not going to call it bad.
I will.
It was fine.
It wasn't. My assumption is that a lot of people are just watching this and be like, oh my god, it's just like A Quiet Place. And they just have that association.
That doesn't make any difference. Like, a lot of things you could be like A Quiet Place. That doesn't make them good. Yeah,
but it's a unique concept like A Quiet Place.
It's a great concept. And but the execution is not great.
But that's the thing. My assumption is that a lot of people are probably watching this and not giving a shit about the execution, or not really even caring at all just about how it was executed. Just the concept is all that they're looking at. And conceptually, this movie is brilliant.
I agree.
It's handled like shit. Hey, and I didn't even watch a trailer before this. I went in blind.
I didn't either.
Still, I am let down.
You went in blind?
Accidental.
Hey, what'd you like about this movie?
I mean, again, conceptually, I think this was a brilliant concept. I think it was wasted, but...
I agree on both counts.
Visually, it was... I thought they did some really good things with direction and cinematography.
It's well shot, for sure. I mentioned to you during, I really love the Lovecraftian horror aspects of it. I love that you never see whatever this thing is or what it looks like. I love that you're never exactly seeing what the people are seeing. You're just seeing either their reactions to it, or you're getting a sense of what they're seeing based on what they're saying and what they're hearing. I think that's brilliant. I think that is probably the best thing this movie does.
However, the Lovecraftian thing kind of goes out the window when they have...
Well, they have somebody explain it in really obnoxiously long-winded detail. That makes no sense as to how he would even know that. TSA agent from Get Out goes on this long-winded explanation about how it's demons that show people their worst fears. How he knows this, I don't really know.
It was really poor. Oh, I've been writing a novel. I've been studying this on my own for years. Like, oh,
that doesn't explain it.
Yeah, no, cool. I'm glad that you have knowledge of such obscure shit from so many different cultures. Good job.
What a weird situation. What a weird coincidence that you happen to be in this situation that you've been studying up for years. The first, what, 10, 15 minutes or so?
Yeah, somewhere around
this movie are actually excellent. It's such a real world depiction of, like, everything going to shit, and you're watching the world go to shit. But it's done so well, and it feels very realistic, honestly. That's probably the part of the movie that sold me the most, and that was probably my favorite section of the movie, is the first 10 to 15 minutes where you're watching everything just go to hell. And it feels very real world, with people all trying to figure out what's going on, people trying to contact their loved ones, people trying to get a signal on their phone, and no one knows what's going on. The news doesn't really help because they're just trying to figure it out as well. There's a state of emergency. They lose, you know, all access to television. It's crazy.
We start way up here and very quickly decline.
Yeah. Because then the movie decides to time jump, and it skips ahead to all these characters existing, what, a week or two later, and they're just in the middle of this scenario now.
Honestly, I don't even fucking know.
I don't think it really ever specifies how much later it is, but the point is, it's not interesting after that point. Because they're all well-versed in this world, but we as the audience aren't, and it never goes out of its way to really explain shit to us. And I'm not asking for, like, crazy in-depth explanation, I'm not. But when the movie is not focusing on the shit that it should be focusing on, and instead focusing on all the stuff that is incredibly derivative, and that you've seen a million times, and that you can pretty much call everything that's going to happen beat for beat because you've seen it in every Hollywood movie ever, that's not good. There's a lot in this movie that I wanted it to focus on.
And it didn't.
It doesn't at all. Instead, it just focuses on a weird attempt at a character piece that doesn't really work or hit any of the marks because these characters are all really either underdeveloped or just completely flat. John Malkovich, what happened to you, man? Like, you won an Oscar, I think.
I think.
What were you doing in this? You didn't do a good job.
You know, even, like, you would think his acting would have been better.
He was not. He was probably the worst actor in the movie.
Besides the children.
Right, but that
seems almost unfair, but
it seems unfair because you're comparing John Malkovich to children, and somehow he was just about as bad.
And the child acting was bad.
It was bad. Honestly,
holy crap.
Trevante Rhodes is the only good actor in this movie, and that's much like The Predator. He's the only charming character in the film, and he's the only one I remotely gave a shit about. Sandra Bullock, I've never understood the hype behind her as an actress.
I mean, I think she's
fine.
I think she's a very good actress.
I think she can be.
I think,
but I don't know what she was doing in this.
Yeah, no, she has, like, this wasn't The Blind Side or anything like that, where she does a really good job. I like
The Blind Side?
Yeah, that's a good movie. Fuck off.
The Blind Side?
Isn't that what it's called?
The Blind Side?
What is it called?
No, it's called The Blind Side.
Yeah, no, that's not
Blind.
Oh, god damn it. I thought you were giving me shit for liking
Sandra
that movie.
Bullock in The Blind Side 2. We're already getting into the dislikes. They're all kind of muddled, because the problem with this movie is that every time it does something that I really liked or that I thought could be really cool, it pulls back from it at the last second and drags it kicking and screaming back into the territory of derivative and kind of lame and boring.
It drags it back into the territory of Hollywood.
Hollywood and boring, and this movie's fucking long. It's 2 hours long, and I was not invested in any of it.
At best, the characters in this movie, like, there's one character that Lee's already talked about where, like, that character, he's okay.
Yeah.
And at worst, there are characters that you were actively hoping die.
All of them?
No, not all of them, because there were some in the middle where I was just like, I just don't give a shit either way.
I just didn't care about any of it. And like I said, there's so much cool conceptually in this movie, and it never explores it. There's this whole kind of subplot / ongoing threat of, like, humans who went crazy but didn't kill themselves, and now they're trying to go out of their way to make everyone else open their eyes and look at whatever the hell these things are. But it's never explored. It's never explained. We don't know why these people are not killing themselves. We don't know why they have free will and why they're trying to make other people look. It's never explored at all.
To be fair, they did mention that these people were crazy beforehand.
That doesn't help, though. That doesn't explain.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm making the comments section here.
I get it. I'm just saying,
making sure they know we touched on that.
I get it, but I'm just like, I don't understand why that's...
Why that, and also, what the fuck does crazy constitute?
Yeah, I mean, that too. I just...
Because, like, the one crazy is a guy working at a supermarket. The other crazy is supposedly, like, people from a mental institution. So, like, what fucking spectrum are we on here?
It doesn't really make sense to me because, like I said, there's a good movie in here. And it's clawing to get out. It's like if The Happening was good and not written by M. Night Shyamalan, and then also if A Quiet Place was based on the sense of sight instead of hearing. But there's nothing there. Like,
it's boring, it's generic, it doesn't do anything exciting or original beyond the concept.
Honestly, yeah, like, it doesn't. It bummed me out because given the amount of hype this movie's getting, I was expecting something brilliant. And what I got was something that was, like, passable. There's one thing I do want to touch on, and that is one aspect of the cinematography I really loved, is that there are several moments in this film where it cuts to a POV-style shot of what the characters are seeing behind the blindfold. And it really does a good job at illustrating just how fucked these characters are in this situation, and how really terrifying it is when you're dealing with all this shit without your sight. That is scary as hell. And those were the shots that I was like, oh, damn, this is getting me invested in what they're going through. But then the problem is, the characters are so fucking bland that I couldn't give a shit. And the best way I put it was toward the end, I said to you, I'm entirely invested in the scenario and not any of the characters or what's going on in this plot.
Yep. I agree.
There's a really interesting theme that it is trying to tackle of, like, fear of human connection.
Trying is a strong word.
It's trying. Like, it introduces it as a concept, and I kept waiting for it to bring that in and tie that into everything going on around them, and it never does. It just becomes like a stupid check mark to tick off on the box of, like, we need to get her to this point so that she loves the kids by the end. And I was just not feeling it. Like,
it was forced.
It was forced. And it bothered me because that's such a cool theme in a story like this, of, like, fear of getting attached, fear of human connection, all that. In a story like this where you're stripping characters of their sight, where sight is a necessary thing to form human connection. Where was the exploration of that? That's an awesome fucking concept to explore, and to not relate it to your core story. It was just a bad movie. It was just bad. It was not good. I'm just more bummed than anything, guys. Like, there was so much potential here, and given the uproar that happened on the internet, I was hoping that that potential would have been reached, and it never is.
It never even came close.
It doesn't. It, like, the closest it came was just the concept, and I was like, yeah, that's not enough.
The hype was here. The movie's here.
Yeah, I don't know. I really wished it would have been better.
What's your rating, Lee?
I'm gonna say that Bird Box is meh. It's, like I said, it's far from the worst thing I've seen. It's also far from the best. The acting is all really subpar, aside from a couple really, really cool camera techniques and a really awesome concept. The rest of the movie is just really, really boring and bland, and I am not a fan of it.
This movie was fucking poor. It was a cool concept, and besides, like, the a couple cool, like you said, a couple cool cinematography type aspects of it, it had nothing else going for it. The characters sucked, the acting wasn't good, the score was forgettable.
They wasted their most prominent theme on nothing.
The writing was shit. Like, this movie has nothing going for it.
Yeah, not a big fan. That was it for 2018. Happy 2018. It's probably the last time you're going to see him till 2019.
At the very least.
Yeah. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching.
Smash that motherfucking like button.
Yeah, do that. There's a link down in the description to a Patreon. If you click down there, you can poke around and potentially donate some money to this channel and help us make new and better quality content for you all to enjoy. Be like these cool people right here. Right here.
They're the ones that help Lee buy socks.
They're the ones who help me buy socks and food for my table. Yeah. Honestly, guys, even $1 helps. I would really, really appreciate it. But even if you don't, thank you so, so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon in 2019.